Before I start, can I just say that I would have preferred Katy Perry instead of Miley Cyrus? Okay, let's go. Why are my valid technical arguments not being listened to by management? And how could I be a leader when I'm not in charge of a team? And how could I be better at managing or protecting worker health? These are the questions that I was pondering at the 2012 conference, where I attended a CES by Perry Logan from 3M. And in it, he spoke about something called the Future Leaders Institute, a leadership training program specifically for hygienists run by the AIOH. So as soon as I heard about it, I knew that I had to go. So when the application process opened this year, I jumped in with an application. The difficult bit was that the statement of interest was the key part, but it could only be one page. But somehow I must have got it right because I ended up being one of the 35 people who made it in. So we came from all walks of industry and all over the world. I have to say, when I met the other participants, their calibre and their experience was very intimidating to me. The course was held in Washington, and it was over 2.5 days. It was facilitated by a wonderful man called Jeffrey Cafford, who'd run the program since the beginning. And also sitting in with us were members of the FLI Advisory Board, previous participants on the course. So we began the program by looking first at ourselves, at our values or our guiding stars, our anchors, because according to Jeffrey, this is where leadership begins. We then looked deeper at our personality styles using the DISC model. So my style was conscientiousness, which means I'm focused on logic, data, and quality, but maybe not so much on relationships, so maybe a familiar personality for some hygienists. But we learned that successful leaders can adapt. The second day we looked at leadership behaviours, concrete learnable behaviours that, if mastered, will make us a better leader. So my areas needing improvement were encourage the heart and inspire a shared vision. Next up, it was organisational culture, patterns of shared basic assumptions about how to think, perceive and feel that need to be understood in order to affect meaningful change. We learnt that understanding that we all see the world through different lenses is vital for leaders, especially the need to be curious about other people's lenses and also the need to be aware of any inferences we make. We also looked at what bad teams look like. So rather than being inevitable, we learnt that the causes of bad teams are both identifiable and curable through strong leadership and concerted group effort. The notion that leadership is a heroic individual task was challenged for us by the idea that good leadership is about building others' capacity. And through examples of like companies like IDEO, we learned about the incredible innovation that can come out of good teams. And we finished by looking at the why. We learned that most organisations know the what, some know the how, but very few know the why, even though it's really important as leaders. So like any good training course, there was an excellent social program, and the highlight was a Monday night Washington night tour, and included a trip to the White House, but I can assure you Kate and I didn't try to jump the fence. The last session for me was the most interesting because it was examining our profession's future challenges with a room full of AIH luminaries, including the current president, Chris Lorenzo. So I came home from the course with a very clear action plan for myself to find new mentors, to make relationships a focus of everything I do, and to get out of my comfort zone a bit more often, hence this talk. The FLI was different to any other course that I've done. Why? Because every single person in that room had the same why as me, protecting worker health. I now have a network of similarly passionate IH leaders who I can draw on for support when I need it. At the FLI, I learnt that leadership isn't a position, it's actually a means of getting things done, which is why I believe it's vital for us hygienists so that we can all get worker health protection done. So that's the end of my leadership story, but it's not the end of my quest. I know I've got a lot more to learn about leadership and hygiene. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I'd really love for people from Australia to be able to experience the same thing too. So my parting question is, why can't one day we run the Institute here in Australia? To finish, I'd just like to thank the AIHA, the FLI sponsors, and all the people who helped get me there. I'm very grateful, and thanks for listening.